Hello there guys and welcome to the top 10 newly built non-league stadiums. So to qualify for this list, the stadiums must have been opened within the last 3 years and they must also be totally newly built stadiums. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get straight into the video.
In at number 10 is CB Hounslow United. They're a London-based team that play in the 9th tier of English football, and the club originally played at Osterley Sports Club. They built their new ground for £1.5 million. The site had previously been 5 unused football pitches, which was replaced by a ground including 1 seated stand on each side of the pitch, a covered area behind 1 goal, and a clubhouse. The first match at the new ground, Green Lane, was an FA Cup extra preliminary round against Rusthall in August 2017. In at number 9 is AVELEY. The side from the Bostik League North moved into their 3,500 capacity stadium, Parkside, ahead of the 2017-18 season after spending the last 65 years at Millfield Stadium. The new stadium is just a short trip up the road from their old ground and is part of a £4.8 million facility. In at number 8 is Hayes and Yeading United. Since the sale of Hayes' old ground Church Road, the club have spent the last decade sharing at Woking and Maidenhead. But after a decade of ground sharing, the club finally moved into the SkyX Community Stadium, built on the site of Yeading's former ground, the Warren, at the start of the 2016-17 season. But the club then actually had to move out of that ground again due to the lack of a safety certificate, meaning they played most of their home games last season in Beaconsfield. But then, after the necessary safety certificate was achieved in time for the 2017-18 season, the club moved back into the SkyX Community Stadium on the 11th of August 2017. The site actually still contains the remains of one of the stands from Yeading's ground, the Warren, but it's safe to say it's beyond repair. In at number 7 is Melksham Town. The team play in the Wessex League Premier Division and played at the Coniga ground since 1926. They moved into their new £7 million facility, which includes a football pitch and actually another stadium, opened at the same time, which hosts Melksham Rugby Clubs. There's actually 2 grounds on the same facility, which is, to me, that's quite cool. The football ground is called the OAKFIELDS Stadium, and over 1,200 people attended their first game in the new ground in January 2017. In at number 6 is a club that have had a very turbulent time when it comes to stadiums in the last 15 years, and that is Darlington. They played at Feethams until 2003, a really nice ground, but then they decided to move out of there and move into the Darlington Arena, a 25,000 capacity stadium that was just absolutely huge. Unfortunately, the club didn't progress as they'd like, and they weren't filling the ground, so they had to move out of that ground due to basically financial difficulties because they couldn't afford to pay for the ground. In fact, in the Darlington Arena, attendances rarely got above 3,000, which is crazy considering how big the stadium is. And this actually led to the club being relegated by 4 divisions down to the 9th tier. But anyway, after dropping down to the 9th tier, they decided to ground share with Bishops Auckland at their home Heritage Park from 2012 until 2016, where they finally moved back to Darlington into Blackwell Meadows, which is the home of Darlington Rugby Club. The ground did need a lot of upgrading. They had to build 2 separate stands before they could move in, but they did eventually move in 2016. The capacity at Blackwell Meadows is currently 3,300 with around 500 seats. Now up into the top 5, and in at number 5 is WALTON Casuals. The club known as the Stags moved into their new home, the ELMBRIDGE Sports Hub, ahead of the 2017-18 season. The stadium is built on the site of their former home, the Waterside Stadium, and it certainly was not a cheap renovation to do. It cost £20 million and took 2 years, hence it is a totally new stadium. The main pitch is 3G and is shared by Walton and Hersham, and the stadium holds 2,250 spectators. Interestingly, Walton Athletics Club also uses part of the facility, which is an Olympic standard running track. Because after all, spending £20 million, they're going to be building way more than just a football ground. Number 4 is ARBOUR Park, the home of SLOUGH Town. In the summer of 2007, the club agreed a 3-year ground share with Beaconsfield. This was extended to cover the 2010-2011 season and continued until they moved back into the borough of Slough for the first time in over a decade on the 29th of August 2016, when they played their first game at their new ground against Hayes and Yeading United, winning 2-1. The ground holds 2,000 spectators and the pitch is 3G, which is regularly used by the local community. In at number 3 is Scarborough Athletic. In 2017, the club moved back into its hometown for the first time since it was founded back in 2007. The Flamingo Land Stadium now plays home to the Northern Premier League Division 1 North outfit formed after the collapse of Scarborough FC and were playing their home fixtures nearly 20 miles away in Bridlington before their new ground was built. The Flamingo Land Stadium is part of a £50 million development of a former park and ride site, which includes a swimming pool, New University Technical College and Coventry University's Scarborough campus. The stadium holds 2,070 spectators with 250 seats, and the first game at the ground was a 4-1 defeat against Sheffield United 11 in front of a sellout crowd in July 2017. Number 2 is AFC Fylde. The club moved from Kellermerg Park to Mill Farm ahead of the 2016-17 season. Kellermerg Park was the home of AFC Fylde from 2006 to 2016. Mill Farm is an £18 million sports village with a 6,000 capacity stadium including 2,000 seats. Also part of the facility is an award-winning sports bar called Bradley's. There's also an 80-seat restaurant, a 40-seat cafe, an Aldi supermarket, a Euro Garage's petrol station, a Sainsbury's local, a Greggs bakery and a KFC. Basically, if you're feeling hungry, there'll be something at Mill Farm that will satisfy your hunger. Back at Kellermerg Park, the final season there, the Coasters had an average attendance of 522, and this has almost quadrupled to their first season in their new ground to 1,962. And finally, in at number 1 is FC United of Manchester. The club was founded in 2005 by a group of disillusioned Manchester United fans. FC United played the majority of their home games from 2005 to 2014 at Bury's Gig Lane. However, due to fixture congestion, FC United had to move to various different stadiums in and around the Manchester area, but eventually they had plans for their own permanent stadium accepted in November 2013, a 4,400 capacity stadium which was finally opened in May 2015, costing £6.3 million. The official opening game was against Benfica B on the 29th of May 2015, the anniversary of Man United's victory over Benfica in the 1968 European Cup final. The ground is known for having a great atmosphere made out of really passionate fans and a lack of commercialisation, so it's a really refreshing visit, making it a real unique non-league experience.
So there we have it, those are the top 10 newly built non-league stadiums. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Really means a lot to me and really does help the channel out. Also, let me know in the comment section down below which stadiums did I miss off this list and which would you have put in at number 1. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video and thanks for watching.